Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm Magadzire Komborero and I'm doing the public and media relations at Bindura University. So I want to know about your career. So I want you to tell me your upbringing from where you started up to where you are.
Up to where I am.
Yeah, just a brief in short.
Oh, a brief, because if I were to go in detail, be here.
No, just in short, your background, your school,
Okay,
school level, where you come from, the home area, and this.
Okay. So, my name is Sithole. Last born in my family. I started playing rugby in 1997.
Long back.
So yeah, long back, in grade 5.
Wow.
So let me take it back. I went to tennis and primary in Machamhlope, Bulawayo, grade 1 to 3. Then 4 to 7 I went to Hillside Junior School. And then my high school, I then did it at Milton High School. I went to college to study graphic design at Bulawayo Poly.
So you're also a designer?
Yes, I'm also a graphic designer. So I was good at drawing from a young age, and I was passionate. So I decided to take that up as a career. I think I've got like over 15 years of graphic design experience. But then I was also involved in sport. I've pretty much been a sports person, because I remember at one point my mom always used to say, "When who stay here from Monday to Friday." So in English, it's like you're always remaining behind for sports from Monday to Friday. Because if it wasn't for tennis, I would be doing athletics or swimming or soccer. I was always into sports. But how I then got hooked to rugby, I had a friend who said, "Let's try rugby." But my mom didn't want me to play. So I then lied to her, and I know lying is a bad thing, and I told her that I'm playing American football. So she didn't know what that was, and then she agreed for me to
Really?
yes. So eventually, when she then found out it was too late for her to say I should stop, then she started coming to support me from primary school. I remember even when I was playing first team at Hillside Junior, she would come and support me. Then I went to Milton. I went to Milton because of its rugby history, as well as the nice uniform part. But she wanted me to go to Gifford High School. And then when I got there, I tried playing cricket, but I then found my home with rugby. So I played more of rugby. I played first team for about three years, I think. Then my last year I captained first team, and then while I was also at school, I then played for Zimbabwe under 21, where I played for like 3 years. And then from there I then played Sables and Zimbabwe Cheetahs, which is the 7th side.
My name is Esther Takundwa. I'll be taking over from Magadzire. So I'm going to ask you about your player career. What are some of your most memorable moments representing Zimbabwe National Rugby Union team, and what challenges did you face during your playing career, and how did you overcome them?
Wow, where do I start? Okay, so I played Zimbabwe 21 from 2006 to 2008, and my last year I was actually the captain. But after that, RRB, which is now World Rugby, then said that they are disbanding under 21s and under 19s and creating under 20s. So we were the last under 21 side. And then from there, I played a bit of sevens. I played Goshawks, which is like a feeder team to Zimbabwe Sevens, the Zimbabwe Cheetahs. I got my first cap when we went for World Cup qualifiers back in 2012. This is the first cap for the 7 side. And then that same year, we then had a tri-nation with Spain and Namibia, which was held in Namibia. That's where I then got my first cap. So that's 2012. So in total, I have 8 caps for Zimbabwe Sables, and quite a number of sevens tournaments for Zimbabwe Cheetahs, which is Africa Cup and the HBScSSM series.
Wow.
Yes. So I think it's fondest moment. Probably playing with my high school hero, Wesley Mbanje. I used to look up to him, and then me being able to share the park with him, I think it's one of the fondest moments. And also, probably the highlight of my career is me participating in the Rugby World Cup Sevens in Moscow in 2013.
Wow.
Yes. And when it came to 15s, I was coached by Peter de Villiers, who I find like the most, one of my, in fact, the best coach that I've ever worked with. Because before he coached Zimbabwe Sables, he coached the Springboks, which is the South African side. I learned quite a lot from him.
So what are the most challenges that you have faced during your playing career?
Playing career, probably being dropped from, if you're not making the squad, traveling squad or squad playing at home. Those were probably the challenges. And then how I overcame them is Milton gave us what can I say? This hard work ethic. So even if you drop me, I'll still come back and work and make myself better. Because as what I didn't figure out later in life is that coaches have their plans, and if you don't fit in their plans, you may then get dropped. So how do you sort that out? You work on yourself and get better and try and do what he wants.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So what motivated you to transition from playing to coaching?
Well, in actual fact, I've only retired from international rugby in 2018. That's when I had my last cap, and then with sevens I had my last cap at in Uganda 2017 when it was World Cup qualifiers for the San Francisco edition. Yeah, that's when I stopped playing sevens. So, and then the transition part now. I'm still playing club rugby.
Okay.
At the same time, I also do their SNC. So what made me transition is that it's just the nature of the sport. At some point, it will come to an end where you're playing. So it now depends with you whether you want to continue as a supporter, continue as a coach. You just figure out what you want. Okay. So I felt, because I love condition so much, I felt that I should do strength and conditioning. But because of my experience and my knowledge, I then also took up the actual coaching part.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Thank you.
That is really wonderful. So was the transition difficult?
Not really, because I'm basically teaching people from my experiences and also following what World Rugby gives us as coaches, the knowledge that they give us. Probably the only challenge is you then having patience, because it's pretty much like teaching, and you find that people athletes may not understand at your level. So you have to come to their level, which is the hard part. So if you don't have the patience, it's kind of hard. Because my first year was at Eaglesville, so it really taught me patience. So yeah. And then with club now, you have people that were calling you teammates, and then all of a sudden now they have to listen to you. So some may find it hard, and the respect part. But with time, it falls into line.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I promise you, I'm gonna take over from Esther to interview Lucky Sithole. Lucky, I understand that you're still playing. So you're a player coach at a sports club. As a player coach, how do you balance playing and coaching responsibilities?
So now it becomes a little bit harder.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you're always doing the right thing. But it's hard because we're humans and we may make mistakes. And also at the same time, it's no longer about you. It's now about them because we are giving back. So they should get more of the game time there, as opposed to you playing more. Unless your experience is needed, then yeah.
Okay. So what does a typical training session look like under your guidance?
Under my guidance.
Under your guidance as a
Wow.
coach.
As a coach.
Yeah.
So I've had people complain that my sessions are hard. I make people run a lot. But for me, I feel it's not that hard. Huh? Or maybe it's because I've built mental resilience over the years. So that's what I'm trying to give back. So basically, it depends on which part of the season you are in. If it's pre-season, you definitely will not like me because there's going to be lots of conditioning. Remember, rugby is an anaerobic sport where it requires explosive fitness and whatnot. So I'm really going to try and work as hard, as well as build that aerobic engine. So that's where you hear people saying, hey, we did 10 200s or something like that with a certain rest time. So yeah, I would say it's pretty tough. And then as we go into the season, we are now just maintaining that fitness. And then there's lots of one-on-ones because remember rugby's got different positions. So we need to make sure that people know their roles and perfect those roles. So like I used to be an open side flanker and were required to make so many turnovers. So you find I'll do drills that work on juggling for maybe even over 100 reps. In a game I only come out with 1 or 2 turnovers. So that's what I try to instill to the upcoming youngsters. Obviously they are not all loose forwards, some are hookers, so we work on that throwing, that hooking. If you're a center, that IQ, the skill level. Yeah. So backline play like your back three, we work on that high ball.
Yeah. So I know you used to be a flank. So obviously your team would be strong in terms of loose trio, flanks and
well, that's the expectation.
Yeah.
But the work has to be done. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna move to SNC. Yeah, as I know you are the lady cheetahs and lady sables SNC. What is your approach to strengthening and conditioning the women national team?
So with my approach with the ladies is, you hear I call them ladies because I'm away from the park. But the minute we are in that, within those 4 lines, I now call them athletes because that's what they are. They are in there. We try and take the athlete mentality so that when things get hard, we don't say, but we are only women. No, we are rugby players and we have to act like rugby players. So I'm a little bit tough on them.
What are the most important physical attributes for rugby players today?
So I would say strength, explosiveness, and not as much of aerobic conditioning because we're not long distance runners. So if you can have a decent VO2 max, but what I would want you to have is have a strong anaerobic base because rugby is very explosive. And we play at most 30 seconds, then there's a stoppage. So if you're able to output lots in that 30 seconds, then the better athlete you become.
What challenges do you face in developing women's rugby in Zimbabwe?
There's lots of, in fact, there's no support for women when it comes into sport. What their male counterparts get, the ladies don't get. So you find that they're expected to play rugby. Rugby is a contact sport, but there's no opportunities for them to go to the gym. Their diet is overlooked because they are different from guys. So all that has to be taken care of. Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna move other parts of your coaching. I know you as a coach at Eaglesville High School, taking first team. What is your role at Eaglesville High School, and what do you aim to achieve with young players?
So just to correct you, at Eaglesville, I'm the second team coach, but I assist Supren Mandenge, who's the sports director and is also the first team coach. So I'm his assistant. So what we look at is to make sure that we build good basics. So when they go to under 20, they go to open age group, those coaches, they don't have to then start afresh. So because without basics, you cannot go anywhere. You can't be a national team and you're coaching someone basics. So we try and cover that at that level.
Okay. So how do you identify and develop talent at high school?
So like I said earlier to your other colleague, that coaching at high school gave me patience. You have to look at everyone. So I would say my coaching philosophy is that every player is important, because we tend to say, that's the star of the team, so we need him. What happens if, or her, what happens if that player is not good? Now you have to put in that player that you're overlooking. So it's important to make sure that everyone is developed and you give, you pack knowledge to everyone. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what values do you try to instill in your players beyond rugby?
Discipline, mostly discipline, because there's hard work, because there's also life after rugby. If you are disciplined, I'm sure you can pretty much make it out there. If you are hardworking, same thing. So I think those are the two that I really need.
I'm part of the crew. I'm taking over from Promise, interviewing like Sithole, former rugby player, Sevens. So as we are moving on, I'd like to know how do you focus more on discipline skills or physical conditioning, or a balance of all three?
I guess if you were to ask the people that I coach, they'll probably lean more to the physical side. But I try and find a balance. It just depends on who I'm working with. If it's someone that needs me to work on skill, I'll work on skill. If they need me to work on conditioning, be it strength, be it conditioning on the park, it doesn't really matter now whether is it rugby, is it soccer, basketball. I can do.
Watch campaigns can I'm gonna t-shirt.
If there's need for me to mix the two, I'll do that.
Yeah. So moving on. So how do you motivate players who are struggling or losing confidence? So do you specify on the three things that you said, like discipline skills, or you give it all, like the balance, so that they get motivated, or you pick one?
So I think coming back, I said something to your colleague that there's a guy called Wesley Mbanje that I played with. He was my hero. Like, if you've got time, just go to YouTube and look Wesley Mbanje highlights when he was playing, then you know what I'm talking about. So he was also big on the social, the psychological part, that it's important that players are in the right mind. So a player struggling, it just signifies that there's an issue. So because players are different, we have to talk to the player and understand. So what may work for you may not work for me. So that's the approach that I take. You have to talk to the player, and at times it's not always about you. At times just giving them an ear, then they'll tell you what the issue is, as long as you've created that comfortable environment.
So moving on, like here in Zimbabwe, like the current situation in Zimbabwe rugby, what is your view on the current state of rugby in Zimbabwe?
I think Zimbabwe rugby is at a great place right now, in the fact that we've qualified for the World Cup, which is big. So now I think the challenge is actually leaving a legacy. As much as we want to go to the World Cup, but what has this qualification brought to grassroots? And grassroots cannot be just the kids in the rural areas or kids in the ghetto. It can actually be club rugby, because as it stands, there's no national league. So I strongly believe that we need a national league.
So this will take us on the next question, like what improvements? So these are the improvements that like having more leagues.
Yes.
Looking.
Yes. So if we can have provincial leagues, right? And then within the different provinces that play rugby, and then we have a national league, like how soccer has a national league, and then try and get corporates involved, and we ride on this qualification. I think that would help develop rugby, and also bring in new athletes that did not know about rugby, because there's lots of talent there. Me studying sports science now has helped me in a way to understand that how do we identify talent and as well as even the psychological part, how do we work on players. So
I think that's all for me.
All right, Lucky. It's a very pleasure to meet you. You're one of my heroes, and I thank you very much for what you've done for Zimbabwean rugby. Just got a few questions. I'm just taking over from Asha, who was interviewing you. Okay. My first question is, looking back, is there anything you would have done differently in your career?
I don't know how I would have done it, because during my time, like when I was breaking in, we didn't have agents like people have now. We didn't have lots of footage like people have now. So if I had known, I would certainly have worked on that, because that would have given me an opportunity to send my footage outside the country. Also, I'm known as someone that's got like a crazy, excuse my language, crazy work ethic. So I used to go to the gym, I used to run, but the difference now is I didn't apply sports science. I was doing more like a bodybuilder. I was running more like a long distance runner. So now if I had someone would have helped me like with strength and conditioning now, I'm sure I would have been better than I have been.
And what advice would you give to young rugby players who want to represent Zimbabwe, our nation?
Okay. So because over the years I've seen that most kids don't have the basics that we have. Assume this is a rugby ball. You know, because I started in 97 I was grade 5. So this would have been maybe a size 3 ball. They used to teach us to do stuff like this, and do that. So it got us familiar with the ball and comfortable. So it was kind of easy now when they would teach us new stuff, new skills, make us play games. So it was easy for me because I had good ball skills. Even if you drop it, I could catch it with one hand. So I think it's important that kids focus on basics. Once you have basics, that's a good foundation for you. Wherever you go, you pay attention, you have a good work ethic, and you make it. Because it's not about the talent. Talent can only get you here, but the hard work
Gets you higher. Well done on that. What keeps you motivated in your coaching career today?
I think giving back. I get excited if I see a kid that has potential, to try and help them get better, them write their own story. Because it's no longer about me, it's now about them. Yeah. Because I don't regard myself as the most talented player, probably right aptitude, good work ethic, which I give to Wesley Mbanji. I'll keep talking of this guy. He's I don't think I'll be where I am
Without him. He has done
a
very good
lot.
work. Yes.
He's a good brother, a good big brother.
Okay, my last question.
Yeah,
My last question is, where do you see yourself in Zimbabwean rugby in the next 5 to 10 years?
Interesting question. Probably somewhere in the setup. I've already made a name for myself. Probably as an SLC coach for the Sables or for Cheetahs, who knows. But I'm not going to be a coach forever. So maybe even in the management side of things.
Well, Lucky, Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for the information. Thank you very much for the motivation. I will make sure we also join you there in terms of supporting rugby.
Yeah, anytime you need anything from me or you want to come and support me, however way, you're welcome.
We wish you well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
I
very
hope
much.
you guys do well on your assignment.
Thank you very much.